Hi, everyone. My name is Brad Bobo from the Ticket in Jonesboro, Arkansas, and want to welcome you to today's special announcement concerning the 2021 Play It Again Sports Jonesboro Open presented by Prodigy Discs. I'll introduce you to the other folks who are with us for today's announcement. You see Brad Peets, Jonesboro Open Tournament Director. He's joined by Cameron Campbell of the tournament's title sponsor, Play It Again Sports in Jonesboro. And we'll also hear in this announcement from Fred and Susan Cathcart, and we'll tell you the involvement they're going to bring to this year's tournament, which is really why we're here in a very short amount of time. In fact, this is the fifth Jonesboro Open. It's become a destination stop on the Disc Golf Pro Tour. Brad, we'll start with you because you kind of had this plan of putting a disc golf course into some rolling hills in Northeast Arkansas, both for the local disc golf scene, but also with the dream that maybe one day I could host a pro tournament. You're a dreamer. I've known you a long time. I don't know that even you dreamed that the Play It Again Sports Jonesboro Open would turn into what it turned into in just 5 short years.
Yeah, you're exactly right. The goal all along with This Side of Heaven and the Jonesboro Open was to create a place that would bring the best players in the world to Jonesboro to make an economic impact for the city and to raise money for a local or regional charity. And I'm telling you, man, with this partnership, I think we've just blown all 3 of those goals out of the water.
And it's the 5th Jonesboro Open coming up. It's the 3rd that's been title sponsored by Play It Again Sports. Cameron, you and your family own and operate the Jonesboro Play It Again location. Just talk to us about why you thought it was important to get involved with this disc golf tournament.
So, like you said before, Brad's a dreamer. He winds up attracting dreamers, and I see that. Brad's a good friend of mine, and I've known that this is something he would push and make just a big event out of. And so as we looked at it more, it just made sense for us to do that from the fact of we wanted to support him, we wanted to support our community, and then it goes hand in hand with our store. That's what we do. It's a big product line that it's getting bigger and bigger. Every single day we see more and more go out. We just went live with e-commerce, and our second sale that we have ever had was disc golf. And so it just continues to amaze me what he can do, what this tournament has done, and then what the people around it will support. So I just wanted to jump in and be a part of that,
You're seeing some of the scenes from This Side of Heaven and in previous Jonesboro Opens, the 2021 version you see coming up the weekend of April 16th through the 18th at This Side of Heaven's championship course. Brad, you mentioned it was always big for you to have a charitable component of this tournament. It's been the case, but I'll let both of you and Cameron, while you're both there, kind of talk about your conversations when it came to looking for the charity to work with for 2021.
Well, like I said, we've done this will be the 3rd year that we've had a charitable component to it. We're having to grow a little bit each year. And the first 2 years, we had a great organization, a local group called the Arkansas Pet Savers. They were tremendous to work with. They helped us out a lot. But it was a point to where they were moving in a different direction. So we needed another organization to partner with. And so with Cameron being the title sponsor, he was the first person I asked. I said, okay, who do you want to do? And so Cameron rattled off 2 or 3 different organizations that we should consider. And one of those 3 was St. Jude. And so the more we talked, the more we kind of narrowed in on that. And with his connections through our tents and with St. Jude, the extravaganza, we made a few phone calls, and that's how we got to where we are today. But we couldn't have done it without Cameron.
Where we are today brings us to Fred and Susan. For those of you who may not know, St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital, probably the world leader in cancer research and pediatric cancer. It's basically an hour from the course at This Side of Heaven, and sees patients literally from around the world without anyone ever paying for their treatment at St. Jude. Fred and Susan, who are with us as well, they started an event in Northeast Arkansas that evolved into being known as the Super Bowl Extravaganza, and it turned into St. Jude's single biggest one-day fundraiser. You guys did 26 extravaganzas, and you end up raising $5.8 million for St. Jude. I want you guys to just tell us, instead of how you did it, I guess why. Tell us your family's reason for wanting to do so much for St. Jude.
Thank you for asking. In 1993, our youngest daughter, Donna, was diagnosed with a brain tumor. And we were aware of St. Jude and what they did, but obviously had not had personal experience there. And in the matter of a course of a few hours, we ended up at St. Jude Children's Hospital in Memphis. And within the span of a few days, realized what a fabulous institution it was, how many children's lives they were saving, just what asset we had close to us that we were not even aware of what all they did. Our daughter did not survive. She had a brain tumor that was not curable. To this day, there's still not a cure for her kind of brain tumor. But when St. Jude opened in 1962, less than 30% of children with cancer survived. Today, the overall survival rate is at 80%. And the most common kind of childhood cancer, which is leukemia, has an over 90% survival rate. And it's because of donors that gave to, or people like the donors that gave to St. Jude Extravaganza, that they're able to treat children and able to do the research. And we wanted to continue that research and that treatment in Donna's memory. So we started the extravaganza and found lots and lots of wonderful volunteers and donors around Northeast Arkansas and really all around the country, from people we knew through our business that gave to St. Jude. And extravaganza, for several reasons, cannot continue, but we wanted to be able to continue to give back to St. Jude. Fred and I always said we would be involved until the last child was cured, and we just feel like this tournament is a way we can continue to give back, and the volunteers that help with extravaganza and the donors that go to extravaganza can continue to give back to St. Jude.
Fred, I'm not sure when you guys, you say, hey, we want to be people that get involved with St. Jude. Pretty interesting concept to initially say, well, we'll have a Super Bowl party to do that. But look, and I know that it was a year-round effort for you guys and a lot of other people, and you're very quick to share the credit for that. But did you ever believe when you guys started this that you would be approaching now $6 million that you guys have helped generate for the folks at St. Jude?
The first year our daughter died at the end of November, sitting around in December with some friends trying to figure out what we might want to do, decided to do the first Super Bowl party. And at that time, it was the last weekend in January. So we had about a month to put it on. And we put it on that year, and we did a party and raised about $14,000 and thought we'd set the world on fire. And it increased every year after that. And so we continue to raise money, and just part of our life nowadays to do whatever we can. And we have a huge following in Jonesboro and around the country that's bought into our goals as to raise money for St. Jude. St. Jude believes that no family should ever receive a bill for treatment, for food, for travel, or for housing for their children. And so they believe that the number one goal of the family is just to save the life of their child. And we try to follow that and do everything we can to help raise money. It takes over $2 million a day to run the hospital. Over 85% of that money is raised by just donations from people like you and all that get out and give money to the hospital. And so we just try to keep it going.
So Brad, Cameron, you guys, Cameron once came with St. Jude as one of his lists. He also knew he had some champions for St. Jude and Fred and Susan and the work they had done over the years with extravaganza. So talk about now this new partnership with Fred and Susan getting on board to help the Jonesboro Open and its new charitable partner, St. Jude Children's Research Hospital.
So yeah, that was on the list, and to me, I've always there's just a special place in my heart, and I believe most people's, that for such an institution that represents what it does. And then once we talked about it a little bit and and figured out maybe we should look in this direction. I said, well, I know exactly who we need to call first to get this started. And you know, it's just exciting to us that now the give back portion is something that I think will it's going to be huge, and we know that it's we're going to be able to help change some lives, hopefully, with something that we think is pretty cool to do, and it also does that too. So.
And as far as Jonesboro Open is concerned, on the Disc Golf Pro Tour, the Waco tournament is actually called the Waco Annual Charity Open. So the Waco tournament has a huge charitable organization to it. The tournament up in Peoria, Illinois, there's actually a St. Jude facility in Peoria, and their money, their charity is St. Jude there in Peoria. So it's very common for Disc Golf Pro Tour events to have this type of connection. And I am just, again, with this being one of the goals, just excited to have Fred and Susan on board to help elevate the Jonesboro Open to those other tournaments around the country.
Well, so here's what I know about the other folks in this conversation. Obviously, we've introduced you to Fred and Susan, tireless workers for St. Jude. I do know Brad and Cameron to both have that in them, as well as being competitive people. The combination of these four, I think, is going to come together to see that you guys are going to keep pushing and pushing to really turn this into a big shot in the arm for the folks at St. Jude.
Well, I'll say this, our goal, Cameron's goal all along has been to be the #1 stop on the Disc Golf Pro Tour, whether it be in the prize money, whether it be the charity organization, whether it be the tournament overall look itself. Whenever he said he wanted to put his name to this, he said, we want to be the best. And so that's what we're going to try to do.
See what you got yourselves into here, Fred and Susan?
We realize that.
We're very proud to be involved, and the group of supporters that we have in Jonesboro is very proud to be involved. We always like to say that the money you help us raise may save the life of a child you know, and that has come true so many times in Jonesboro, Arkansas.
So again, today's announcement, St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, the new partner charity of the 2021 Played Against Sports Jonesboro Open, presented by Prodigy Discs. And the 5th edition of this tournament comes your way the weekend of April 16th to the 18th at what has now become the world-renowned championship course at Disc Side of Heaven in Jonesboro. For more information, you can go to jonesboroopen.com. Should be another great event, as it has been, and now obviously a new twist for people to get excited about. Congratulations, guys, on this partnership, and thank you all for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.